Stand by, everybody. Oh, is it turning?
I just heard you loud and clear what you said. Negative number.
Teams are out warming up, folks. We'll get ready for Dayton Flyer hockey against the Cincinnati Bearcats coming up in just a few minutes. Stay with us.
You hear
Dayton Flyers enter their final weekend of the regular season against the Cincinnati Bearcats tonight in Springfield, Ohio. Good evening from the National Trails Parks and Rec Department chiller in Springfield. My name is Kent Jacobs, along with our producer engineer Jeff Duford. Welcome once again to Dayton Flyer Hockey. Flyers against the UC Bearcats and Tri-State Collegiate Hockey League action. The Flyers moving up to 16th in the regional rankings in the Southeast region of the American Collegiate Hockey Association. They need to bump up to 14th place to qualify for the ACHA regional playoffs, and they need to get into 8th in the Tri-State League to qualify for the league playoffs. So tonight, the Flyers against the UC Bearcats. The Cincinnati Bearcats coming in with a record of 6 wins, 16 losses, and 4 overtime losses. The Dayton Flyers, 9 wins, 8 losses, and 2 overtime losses. The Flyers are coached by Tony Morris, assisted by Chris Sands and Brendan Morvik and Chad Morris. And the UC Bearcats are coached by Taylor Lee, and his assistant coaches are Steve Perkins, Nick Okada, and Ian Cosby. The Flyers are in their chapel blue sweaters, red trunks. The UC Bearcats in their all black uniforms tonight. The officials for tonight's game are Jeremy Lee, Dural Kindop, and Greg Leff. In nets for the Dayton Flyers is Tavian Parks. Tavian has a 5-6 record, along with 2 overtime losses, a .423 goals against average, an .897 save percentage. In goal for Cincinnati, J.B. Russo. That's John Brian Russo. No wins, a loss, an overtime loss, a .1031 goals against average, a .680 save percentage. Obviously, very limited action for J.B. Russo. Russo out of Dublin, Ohio. Tavian Parks for the Flyers hails from Uniontown, Ohio. Puck dropped, and we're underway for the Flyers and the Bearcats of Cincinnati. Glad you could join us tonight. As always, we have our live chat open, whether you're a Flyer fan or a Bearcat fan. There's a shot, and Parks the save. Another shot, and they score! Only 21 seconds into the game, and Zach Stegman on a rebound is able to tip one in. Zach Stegman, 6', 185 grad student out of Mason, Ohio, north of Cincinnati. And that's his 5th goal of the season. So right away, the Bearcats take a 1-0 lead. As I was saying, we welcome anybody on a chat, our live chat, whether you're a Flyer fan or a Bearcat fan. All you have to do is hit the subscribe button to our channel. There's no charge to do that. And then you can get in a message, let us know what player you're rooting for or where you're watching from, and we'll get your message over the air. Well, 1-0 Bearcats. Mygon for the Flyers flips the puck up over the glass, and we'll have a face-off. So not a good start right out of the gate. It's 21 seconds into the first period, and the Bearcats are on the board. Here's my gun for Dayton. He'll flip it in for Federico. Shot and Russo the save. Again, Jeff and I both want to thank everybody for all the wonderful gifts, the gift bags and the cards and everything that you guys passed along to us on senior night last Saturday night in Kettering. Both of us appreciate it greatly. We hope that this is not our last game of the season, because if it's not, it means the Flyers are in the playoffs, and then we're able to try to possibly bring some more Flyer action to you. Oh, Jeff said the beer is gone. What was that? It was some type. Oh, and he said much appreciated. What was that? Some type of ale, or what was it? Oh, Cleveland. Yeah, so Jeff said he enjoyed that thoroughly. But yeah, thanks everybody, and it's been wonderful again this season with all you folks. And now there's a whistle on a icing violation against UC. These two cities obviously fairly close, just basically 45 minutes apart. Cincinnati about 45 minutes southeast, or southwest rather, of Dayton. So there's always a rivalry between teams, whether whatever the sport, between Dayton and Cincinnati. Of course, Cincinnati is the big brother of the two cities, being the bigger city and the major league city to little brother Dayton. But their college basketball teams, there's a shot and a save by Russo at the other end of the rink. Both the University of Dayton and University of Cincinnati have perennially have nationally prominent basketball programs. And Cincinnati, for a number of years, beat Dayton every season for a while, back in the 80s and 90s. Although this season, Dayton clobbered Cincinnati by about 15 or 20 points down in Cincinnati, which for Flyer basketball fans, of which I can count myself one since 1976, was very, very satisfying to clobber the Bearcats down in Cincinnati for once. So 16 and a half to go, opening period. There's a shot. Russo slides across the goal mouth at the other end of the rink to cover up a shot. UC leading UD 1-0. Had a nice chat with Jackson Reed's dad before the game, and he was explaining all the playoff scenarios to us. It all boils down to really the Flyers need to win. There's a shot, and Parks just gets a piece of it to deflect that shot just wide of the right post. Another centering pass is tipped wide. The Flyers playing games 3 consecutive nights. 2 against UC, and then Sunday against Ohio University. They need to really pocket a couple of wins this weekend to solidify a trip to the conference playoffs, and then cross their fingers for the ACHA Southeast Regionals. Here is Piketty of Dayton. Mark Piketty tangled up with a couple of Bearcats, slips it over to DeLeo. Rink wide pass, Federico. Federico poke checked away. Piketty gets it back for Dayton. Over for Ployce. Declan Ployce. Pass off a skate. Down into the UC end. Bearcats clear it. Back to get it for the Flyers. Ployce. Ployce ridden into the boards. Tom Rutherford chipping at it. There's a shot at the Dayton net, and it's wide. Here's Dillard of Cincinnati. Dillard tied up. Flyers get it back. Aiden Ward for Piketty. To Big Ted Stuber. Cleared, not out. Held in. Shot. Save. Parks. Rebound still live in front of the Dayton net. Shoveled off to the sideboards now for Greta of Cincinnati. Zachary Greta rings it around to the far right side. Flyers pick it up. Declan Ployce. Shot. And it's wide of the Bearcat goal. 6 minutes into period number one. Cincy leading at 1-0. And a goal by Zach Stegman. His 5th of the season. Pass intercepted at center by the Bearcats. George Zimmerer. Zimmerer carries it into the Dayton zone. He's stripped of the puck by Federico, and then Zimmerer rides Federico into the boards, and the puck is cleared. Back for the Cats is Lemink. William Lemink at the 7-minute mark elapsed here in the first period. Clears it down the ice. Flyers back to get it. Mygon bangs the puck off the right wing boards to center. And the Cats come up with it. Pass gets away and behind the Dayton net. Lemeline for Cincinnati was after it. The Flyers dump it back down into the Bearcat zone. It's been a clean period. No penalties and very few stoppages of play. Here come the Cats. Rajecki lost it to center. Now Brett Smith clears up ahead. Back to the Bearcat blue line, but here they come back. There's a long shot from center and the save by Parks. Rebound bangs off the corner dasher to Brett Smith. Smith for Dayton across neutral ice into the Cat zone. A shot, Russo the save. Rebound still live in the Bearcat zone. Now here come the Cats the other way with it. Lanoy lost it behind him. Smith picks it up for Dayton. Smith has it stripped from behind by Brown, Alexander Brown. And it pops up over the glass, and we're going to have a face-off. Well, we'd love to hear from you if you're out there in YouTube land watching tonight. Let us know where you're watching from in this final home game of the season for the Flyers. Aiden Ward passes for Stuber, shovels to center, dumped into the Cincinnati zone. Bearcats in all black leading at 1-0. Here's a shot. Parks the save. And he's able to cover the rebound. Helping him with that is Ployce and Stuber. $10-11 to go in this first period. Umhafer for Dayton against Williams of Cincinnati. There's a big hit by Umhafer on one of the Cats in the behind the net. Puck fought for right along the Dayton blue line, and now here come the Flyers the other way. A shot. Save Russo. Rebound to the right wing boards. Now back comes Cincinnati. Centering pass, a tip, and what a save by Parks. He's able to rob Jacob Kempa on a beautiful setup pass, a great one-time tip right in front of the Dayton net, and Parks had to be like a cat slipping over and making that stop. From the draw, another shot, and Parks will hold on to this one. From the draw in the Dayton zone, shot, blocked in front. Cats hold it in, and now it's picked up for the Flyers. Carrying back the other way for Dayton is Brett Jones. Now the Cats come right back with it. Fighting for it. Nate Rudjecki, I'm sorry. And now Brett Smith is able to clear it for Dayton. Back as DeLeo, a shot, save, rebound, and they score. Flyers tie the game on a rebound. Let's see if we can see who's leading the handshake line. As to who got that rebound, it looks like it is Jackson Reed. So for Jackson Reed, his 6th goal of the season, and of course, it's been an abbreviated season for Jackson. He only was eligible due to age restrictions. He was only able to join after the holidays, here in the second half of the season. So he's only played a handful of games. He's already got 6 goals. Boy, what an addition Jackson Reed will be to this Dayton team next season, playing a full season. But big goal for Reed, and the Flyers tying it up at 1 apiece. Sully Clark wins a faceoff. Back for Brett Smith to DeLeo. Chops it to center, picked off there by Zach Greta, Gretta. Now back comes the Bearcats. A shot by Mr. Greta. Saved by Parks. Zach Greta, 6', 180 out of, he's a freshman out of Medina, Ohio. There are several players on this Cincinnati roster from Medina. That's up north. Isn't that around Cleveland or so? Yeah. Here's another shot. Parks the save. From the rebound, Piketty for Dayton. Clears it down the ice, and that'll be an icing violation against Dayton. We're just under 8 minutes to play in period number 1. Bearcats 1, Flyers 1. Goals in this period, Cincinnati, Stegman, Dayton, Reed. Face off left wing circle of the Flyer zone. Aiden Ward will take the draw against Maximilian Williams. And a shot from the face-off in on goal, and Parks makes the catch on the save and will hold on to it. Another face-off, Dayton zone. Flyers win it. Ployce bangs it off the right wing wall to center. Ployce picks it back up loose, tries to chip it ahead. It's intercepted, and the Cats carried into the Flyer zone. There's a shot! Save, rebound, still losing footage. Wide! And again, tipped wide, and off the end boards, Ployce picks it up for the Flyers for Stuber. Stuber clears it down into the Bearcat zone, and it is out of play, and they will result in a face-off. So Tavian Parks again standing tall. $7:20 to go in the period. And the Cats come into the Flyer zone, but offside. So these two teams will square off again tomorrow in Cincinnati, and then the Flyers play Ohio U in Athens in Eastern Ohio Sunday. Mike Mygon tries to flip the puck to center. They jostle around with it. Cats come away with it. Puck shoveled to the Dayton line. It's intercepted there for the Flyers by Meichenbaum. He gets it back. Meichenbaum then stripped to the puck. Here come the Cats. A shot, and Parks just gets a piece of that one. Puck still loose in the Dayton zone. And now it escapes over back, and the Bearcats back to get it. They will clear it all the way back into the Dayton end. It's set up there by Parks for Mygon. Here's Mike Mygon. He's being harassed along the boards by Booth, Brendan Booth of Cincinnati. Jones of Dayton clears it into the right wing corner of the Cincinnati zone. There's a shot on net, and Russo makes the stop. John Brian Russo, JB, 5'10", 165 out of Dublin, Ohio. And that is a Columbus suburb, home of Jack Nicklaus's golf course and the Memorial Tournament every year on the PGA. Dublin, Ohio. The Golden Bear. He's always been my favorite. I grew up in the 70s, so that's Nicklaus was at his peak back then. 5:20 to go in the first period. 1-1 the score. Brett Smith for Dayton. Passes over, trying to center it, and it deflects away back into the Flyer zone. And puck is stolen momentarily by Bauman of Cincinnati, but the Flyers get it back before he could make a play on the Flyer net. Here's Declan Ployce of the Flyers. Shakes off the check of Bearcat, Caden, and Kona. And the puck squirts back to the center red line. And back into the Flyer zone. Back is Mark Bicchetti. 4:15 to go in the period. Picchetti's pass gets through back behind the Bearcat net at the other end of the rink. And then there's a shot on the Cat net and over the glass off a stick, and we'll have a face-off. Well, we hope you're enjoying your Friday evening wherever you are. Kent Jacobs, along with producer engineer Jeff Duford from the Springfield Chiller Rink. There's a shot, and Russo is able to glove that shot, and he'll hold on to it. Face off left wing circle of the Cincinnati zone. From the draw, shot blocked wide off to the right wing corner. Bearcats took a 1-0 lead just 21 seconds into the game, and then the Flyers came back and tied it. And a goal by Jackson Reed on a rebound. Here's Teddy Stuber for Mygon, and he'll slide it back behind the Bearcat net down yonder. 3 minutes to play in period number 1. Puck comes in on net, and intercepting the puck is goalkeeper Russo of the Bearcats. 3:07 to play in the period. From the draw down in the Bearcat zone. Here come the Cats. Shot, pad save, Parks. Off the stick of Stegman. Here come the Flyers the other way. It's Connor Constable carrying in. He lost it. Now it is Max Williams of Cincinnati. Long shot from center, steered aside by Parks to the corner. Rebound rimmed around to the right wing side. Brett Smith picks it up for the Flyers. He passes on left wing for Constable, flips to the center red line. Cats intercept. Here they come right back. Banging the puck off the dasher and sliding it across. Trying to center it was Jack Lameline of Cincinnati, but his teammate he was trying to center it to, unable to get a stick on that puck. 1:45 to go in the first. There's puck right at center ice. Here come the Cats. They'll chip it in behind the net. After it there for UC is Rajecki, and a shot, and they score! Oh my gosh, with just 1:20 left in the period. Jake Kempa, number 6. Oh my goodness. And the Bearcats take a 2-1 lead. Jacob Kempa, 5'8", 175, freshman out of Powell, Ohio, which is around Columbus. His 12th goal of the season. So Kempa's got a nose for the net. 1 minute to play in the period. Boy, there's nothing I hate to see worse than those goals that are inside the last minute or right around the last minute of the period. They fight for it at the center red line. Flyers, Mygon will backhand it to center, intercepted by the Cats. 25 seconds left in the period. Pass back, a shot, and they score! Holy cats! No pun intended. Nice shot. This one again by Stegman, his second of the game. A whistling one-timer behind Parks. And it's 3-1 Cincinnati. And for Stegman, 6 foot 185 out of Mason, which is, he's a grad student. Mason, a northern suburb of Cincinnati. Now his 6th goal of the season. 15 seconds left in the period. Brett Smith back to get it for the Flyers. For Constable. Back for Smith. And he'll just stick handle back behind the net to close out the period. Well, not what we were looking for in this first period. Not what we were expecting. The Cincinnati Bearcats coming in with a record of 6-16-4. We're hoping that the Flyers could jump on them and make some things happen early on and try to impose their will on this Bearcat team. Unfortunately, the opposite occurred. What was your shots in this first period, Jeff?
Bearcats 17, Flyers 12.
So unofficially, Cincinnati 17, Dayton 12. Shots on goal in that first period. Well, I don't know. I think it'll be interesting to see how the Flyers respond to this here in this first period. What happened? I don't know if we had just a few defensive breakdowns, Jeff. What do you? You're a player. What did you think happened on a few of those goals?
The net, so they got that rebound, so that was a quick strike.
Mm-hmm.
But that second goal was a sharp angle shot.
Yeah.
That's a generally low percentage. So,
Mm.
but Flyers are getting outshot, so
Yeah.
they need to get pucks on the net.
Yeah. Well, so there you have it. Again, the scoring breakdown. Just 21 seconds into the game, Zach Stegman, grad student out of Mason, his 5th of the season, made it 1-0. And then Jackson Reed for the Flyers came back. And for Jackson Reed, his 6th of the season, tied it up at 1-1. Is that way for a long time. And then with 1:20 left in the period, Jacob Kempa scored his 12th of the season to make it 2-1. And then Stegman is 2nd of the game and 6th of the season. Then right inside that last half minute, and all of a sudden, you blink your eye a couple times, and all of a sudden it's 3-1 at the end of one period of play. So let's go. We have a chance. Let's take a look. We don't have any messages from anybody. Well, if you want to say hello to us on this late Friday night, just give us a shout in our online chat and just say, hey, what's going on? And we'll get your message on. Hold on, folks. Do I? Oh, am I not seeing it? Okay. What do we got, folks? Hey, Brian Jones says, hey, Kent and Jeff, thanks for traveling over to Springfield to do the game tonight. We appreciate it. Thank you, Brian. We appreciate it. Hey, and our pal Louise Sclafani says, hey, Flyers, let's get a goal. Yeah, that's now they need a couple. Louise, we got to get a couple going here in that second period. And we got another message. Thomas Wazalowski says, you're killing it. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Thomas. We appreciate that. Nice to hear from everybody tonight. Well, uh, thanks for all the nice comments. I am going to look at the ACHA rankings. We were talking about that earlier. Hold on, folks. Because the Flyers are right on the periphery of qualifying for the regional playoffs, and they're also trying to qualify for their league or conference playoff. Taking a look at, let me see if I can. Hold on, folks. Wait a minute. Well, I thought I was going to. This is the place. Is this the place where the internet is not great? Well, I thought I was going to try to. My phone is just not cooperating. At any rate, I was going to try to bring up the ACHA rankings. I know the Flyers are 16th. They moved up. Hmm. Yeah, not cooperating. Oh well. So at any rate, it just goes without saying that any points they can pick up this weekend are going to be big as far as trying to qualify for either the ACHA regional playoffs or the tri-state um, collegiate hockey league playoffs. Again, we were talking with Mr. Reed earlier, and he was telling us about how uh, there will be a split, divisional split for the tri-state league, so they can try to qualify for that if they're in the top 8. Um, As far as the ACHA Division II Southeast region, uh, you know, they were 14 or 16th. They need to get to 14th. So that's how close they can be. They lost a point by the overtime loss to Xavier last weekend. That didn't help. Um, so they needed to come out and get at least 2 out of 3 in this weekend against Cincinnati and Ohio, and then cross their fingers from there. So that's where we're at, everybody. As the Zamboni has made its last turn around the rink. So Springfield, Ohio, known as the Champion City, and it got that moniker back in the 1950s or 60s when they won. They must have won a couple high school championships in some sport or so, and so they kind of got that nickname tagged on it, and it just stuck. But part of the Metro Dayton media market. Springfield is about half hour northeast of Dayton, headed toward Columbus. And so Springfield and Dayton are kind of tied together as far as media markets go. The Bearcats and the Flyers are now back out on the ice. Going to do a little bit of stretching and everything before we start the second period. Oh, got a couple more messages, everybody. We appreciate hearing from everybody. Marie Pompina says, "Roll Flyers." Support from Pittsburgh. Thanks, Marie. Cassidy Dyer says, "Let's go Flyers. Roll yours." Thanks, Cassidy. And also, Cassidy says, "We need to win tonight or Sunday to make the playoffs." And I'm assuming you're referring to the league playoffs. So thanks, Cassie. Appreciate that information. So they need to win tonight or Sunday. And there's some, and Mr. Reed was telling me about this, about how home games or road games factor in as to whether they count for the league or the regional. There's a shot. We're back to live action, folks. Shot wide of the UC goal. So thanks, Cassidy. So Cassidy says need to win tonight or Sunday to make the playoffs. And Marie Pampina says Pampina proud. Thanks, Marie. And Corinne Pichetti says, "Hi, Kent." Hey, Corinne. Watching from Bonita Springs, Florida. With Mina, Papa, and Aunt Nancy. Hi, everybody. Go Flyers. Let's score some goals and win this game. That's right. And Robin Rutherford says, "Kent and Jeff." Craig and Robin Rutherford watching from Park Ridge, Illinois. Thank you for the game broadcast. Thank you, Robin. We can do this, Flyers. Let's go. Thanks, Robin. All right. Let's see if the Flyers will get going here in this second period. We're a minute in. Bearcats lead at 3-1. In the road Bearcats in all black, the Flyers in their chapel blue sweaters, and Red Trunks. Here's a chance for the Flyers. Rutherford backs it back to the point. There's a one-time shot wide of the mark. Puck centered again off the side of the cage by Stuber. Marks for Cincinnati. Bangs it off the end boards, off to the left wing side. Picked up by Lanoy of Cincinnati, and he clears it. And that'll be an icing violation against the Bearcats. Again, I mentioned it earlier, and now we've heard from a few of you. I just want to make sure that you guys, again, are aware that Jeff and I deeply appreciate everything you guys did for us last Saturday night, all the gift bags and cards and everything. You guys that came up, you ladies that came up and visited with us in the Crow's Nest. It was so nice to see you guys, and just a wonderful night last Saturday. And too bad the Flyers couldn't have pulled that game out, but at least got a point out of it for the overtime. But it was just a great night, just the same. And so let's hope that they can pull this one out tonight. And maybe if they make the playoffs, we can't promise anything. It kind of depends on when the games are and where. But if they make the playoffs, there's an outside chance we can try to bring something to you, but we'll just have to see. That'll depend on when and where. 17:47 to go in the second. Max Williams of Cincinnati takes the draw and a shot on goal and parks the save. From the draw, Baxton of Cincinnati clears behind the Dayton net. It ricochets back to center. Flyers trying to make a rush the other way, but good defense by Baxton to break up that rush. Now, here's Brett Smith for the Flyers, trying to move to the side of the Bearcat net. Centering pass deflected right back to him. He gets it back, drops it in the corner. Now for Jones, trying to center Reed. Now there's a shot, and it's up over the crossbar. That shot looked like it was from Jones or Rutherford. Loose puck now in the Cincinnati zone. Rimmed behind the net. After it for the Flyers was DeLeo. It comes out to the point. Pass rims around to the left wing corner for the Flyers. Clark, he tries to center. That's broken up and cleared out by the Bearcats. Up ahead for Lameline. That's a hard name. Jack Lameline. Lammelein. Lameline. 4 minutes into period number 2. The Bearcats in all black lead the Flyers 3-1. They jostle around forward in the Flyer zone. There's a shot. And Parks the save. Rebound is cleared away. Back for the Cats, Kempa. He'll drop it into the Flyer zone. And then it is cleared back out. Played at center by Sunderhouse of Cincinnati. Nathan Sunderhouse for Kempa. Kempa shoots it into the Dayton zone. Now the Flyers come back with it. Aiden Ward, he's has it taken away, and a shot the other way by the Bearcats. Zach Greta is wide of the Flyer net. For the UC Bearcats, here's Zach Greta, number 22, over for Kempa, number 6. Kempa lost it. Flyers recover behind their own net. Now shot to center. Flyers trying to. They need to get some offensive zone time. Some sustained offensive pressure would sound good right now. Here come the Cats. Stegman. Flyers coming back. Here's Constable. Stops. Drops it back to the point. Nobody home. And it goes all the way down the ice. Back to get it for the Flyers is Yasinic. And now we've got a whistle. We haven't had any penalties in this game. It's been a very quiet game. Now, do we have our first penalty? It's on the Flyers, unfortunately, looks like. Is he going to the box or the bench? No, I guess he's just going to the bench. Yep, still no penalties. So, yeah, very quiet game. Very few stoppages of play and no penalties at all. Zimmer clears it in behind the Dayton net. That's going to be a hard name to say tonight. Zimmerer, Zimmerer. 13 to go in the second period. Here come the Flyers. Need to put it on net. Shot off a skate wide. That shot off the stick of the Flyers' Brett Jones. Now for the Cats, here's Zimmerer. George Zimmerer. Poke checked away. Lanoy of Cincinnati picks it up. He drops it back for Zimmerer. Zimmerer lost it. Flyers almost get a scoring chance, but it's broken up. Now here's a shot toward the Cincinnati net. It's just picked off by Zimmerer, and he starts back out. Zimmerer pass intercepted. Here come the Flyers back into the Bearcat zone. Tommy Sieve, right wing, shot wide. I think he was looking to try to get feed a tip, backdoor tip to Sully Clark. Flyers back to get it. That is Johnny Yasinic. Pass up ahead, back into the Bearcat zone. Nice move, but poke checked away from Sully Clark by goalkeeper Russo. Now a shot. Clark trying to get a whack at it. Russo the save. Rebound, kicks to center. Flyers back in. Here's a chance in front, and tangled up and taken down was Stuber. Flyers have to circle back. Now here's Baxton for Cincinnati. His clearing chance is cleared out, or clearing shot is stolen. And a shot right on by the Flyers, and a save made by Russo. Big chance right there for the Flyers. From the raw shot. Pad save, Russo. Ward trying to hold it in for the Flyers, but it's stripped away by Sunderhouse of Cincinnati. 3-1 Bearcats lead. Puck cleared back into the Cincinnati zone. Back to get it for the Cats is Williams. Pass on left wing for Kempa. Over the Dayton line, Kempa, backhander. And save made by Parks. 10.5 to go in the second. Let's see, we got a message from Louise. Hey, Louise. Thank you so much for the play-by-plays. So many fans and alum watching from across the country. You and Jeff each get 3 stars for this late night game. Wish we could send over some coffee. Thank you, Louise. Thank you very much. Here's a tip in front. And Russo was down, but it's wide. Woo, boy, oh boy. Flyers almost able to get it in there, but Russo had his 4-leaf clover in his pocket on that one because he was lucky. We're midway through the game now, exactly 10 minutes to go in the second. Puck back behind the Flyer net at the other end of the rink. And there's an icing violation against the Flyers. Got another message from Louise. Says, let's get a goal, Flyers. That is a good idea. Boy, I tell you what, next goal in this game is going to be very big. If the Flyers get it, they're within a goal and right back in it. If the Cats get it, it's a 3-goal lead. From the draw, puck carries back into the UC zone. Picked up by Ancona. Give and go now to Lameline. He lost it. Well, no, Lameline, he's got it. He still has it. He circles his own zone. Tries to drop it off at center for teammate Erickson, Alex Erickson. He drops it off into the corner. And the Flyers come back. And we've got a whistle. Were we offside? Reed carried in, but I think a teammate was in ahead of the play. 8:47 to go in the second. We heard from Melissa Picano-Jones. Let's go Flyers. Saying hello from Los Angeles. Oh, my goodness gracious. Thank you, Melissa. Here's a shot at the other end, and let's see, did that pop over the glass? I think it did. So Melissa Picano-Jones saying hi from Los Angeles. How about that? Jeff and I say hello to Los Angeles. Tell Melissa, tell LA we said hello. $8:20 to play in the second. Here's a shot, and they score. Ouch. That is Mr. Stegman. Well, how do you like that? That son of a gun. He has a hat trick. Unofficially, we're judging by I can't hardly see what's going on at the other end of the rink. I have to judge a lot times by the whoever leads the handshake line because that's usually the goal scorer. But if it is Stegman again, that's 3, and he came into the game with just 4. And it's 4-1 for the Bearcats. Here's a chance for the Flyers. And getting tangled up, though, was Stuber. He was tied up by a couple of Bearcats, and the puck gets cleared away. There's a syndrome, and my St. Louis Blues, you guys that have been watching these games this year and the last couple of years, you know I'm a St. Louis Blues fan for the past 40 plus years. But they're guilty of this. Playing up or down to your competition. You want to say they can play so well, so tight against Indiana, which is second ranked in the region, and against some other teams played very tough games against Bowling Green. They swept West Virginia, which was a pretty decent team. And then you've got Xavier, which had only won twice. Now you've got Cincinnati, who was only 6-16-4. And, you say, okay, we're going to win these games. And then out comes the egg. But hopefully they can circle the wagons. And there's a big hit on one of the Bearcat players. They clearly need to get a goal before the end of this period, though. You don't want to go into the third period down by 3. Hey, and Melissa Picano Jones says she will say hello. Here a chance. Micah. Holy mackerel. Boy, was that what the doctor ordered. Owen Meichenbaum. How about that? Rushes the net. And boy, that is a huge goal for the Flyers and net front presence. That's something they've needed this evening. And Owen Meichenbaum is able to score his 4th goal of the season. And for Owen, the 6', 210 freshman out of Buffalo, he gets the Flyers to within 2 now at 4-2. Boy, that was a big one. There's another chance, a shot deflected high and wide off the stick of Reed. It bangs off the end board dasher behind the net, picked up for the Cats by Rejecki. Here's Lammeline of Cincinnati. Drops it back to the point, but the Flyers come away with it. Here's another chance, right? Left wing pass over and intercepted. It was broken up. The pass was for, and what is going on here, guys? As Flyer Brett Jones was being tied up by one of the Cats. There was no. Okay, now we will get a penalty interference on the Bearcats. Caden and Kona. I was wondering what they had to call something there as Brett Jones of the Flyers was just being haggled with. So, first penalty of the game for either team is on the Bearcats. Humongous power play chance for the Flyers. Four and a half to go in the period. Circling now. Here's a shot. Saves. What a shot! From at the top of the left wing circle, Jackson Reed. And it's 4-3. Jackson Reed, his second goal of the game. And for the Flyer freshman, his seventh of the season. Jackson, the big 6'5", 185-pound freshman out of Cranberry Township, Pennsylvania. A couple of more messages. Yeah, we were saying Melissa Picano Jones said she would say hello to Los Angeles for us. And then Brad Stegman, he's from the. Here's another chance for the Flyers. Oh, gosh, a save by Russo, and the rebound is carried back to the blue line. Hold on, Brad. I'll get to your message in a moment. Another shot. Save by Russo. Flyers putting on the pressure now. Boy, Russo, a nice kick save on that last shot. Now here's Kempa of Cincinnati. His pass off a skate right back to him, then he clears it up ahead for Bauman. Into the Flyer zone, a shot, and parks the save. Rebound, kicks back to center. Here come the Flyers. 3.5 to go in the period. Down by 1 now, 4-3. Sieve wheels it behind the net now for Brett Smith. Centers. And that is picked off by the Cats' Ancona. That last Flyer goal, a power play goal by Jackson Reed. Anyway, I got a message from Brad Stegman from the UC side of things. That's my boy. That is Mr. Zach Stegman. Brad says, that's my boy with a hat trick. Well, thanks, Brad. Nice to hear from you tonight, and congratulations. Here's a centering pass for the Flyers, gets broken up. Picked up by Ancona. Can't clear it. Flyers have it. Now it's shot to center ice. 2.5 to go in the period. Flyers a chance. There's a centering pass. Big Ted Stuber. How do you like that, everybody? Wow. What a comeback. Holy Toledo. Big Teddy Stuber. Again, that net front presence gets in front of the net, gets the centering pass right over to him, and he sweeps in a one-timer behind Russo. And for Teddy, his 6th goal of the season. And how do you like that? Just like that, we're all tied up at 4. Got a message from Louise Sclafani, says, way to go, Teddy. Playing now behind the Bearcat net, picked up by Greta. Greta into the corner for Zimmerer. Zimmerer trying to chip it to neutral ice. He does. It carries into the Flyer zone. Unbelievable. Well, it was right after I mentioned about the Flyers playing up or down to competition, at least record-wise, and it seemed like they just flipped a switch. Maybe I've got a mental telepathy going on Jeff, you think? 1:10 to go in the period. The Bearcats took a 4-1 lead. And another thing. Hold on, we'll wait till they've got a minute left in this period. Hold on, folks. Puck down behind the Flyer net. Now it rims around to the right wing corner. There's a nice defensive play by Kempa to break up a rush. Half a minute to go in the period. Here's a shot by the Cats. Now another shot wide of the Flyer net. Here's another rush by the Flyers the other way. Centering pass, shot, and wide. Another chance for the Flyers. Puck dropped behind the net. 5 seconds left in the period. DeLeo ridden down to the ice by Baxton. Loose puck picked up by Kempa, and that'll do it for the second period. Wow, what a comeback for the Flyers. I got a message from Kelly Ward. Says, that was great, Kent. Big Ted Stuber, you got it. How about that? Teddy tied it up. Thanks, Kelly. Nice to hear from you tonight. Robin Rutherford says, great shot, Ted. Let's go, Flyers. 4 more goals. There you go. Well, wow. Another thing I was going to point out, Jeff. What is the thing with 3-goal leads? There's a thing about it. There is a thing. It's a thing. 3-goal leads. It's like, is it just, I guess teams just like, we got a 3-goal lead. Let's just flip the cruise control button and just kind of ride this one out into the sunset. I don't know. And obviously players aren't doing that literally. It's a psychological thing. It's a, you get a big lead. And let's face it, a 3-goal lead is a big lead. And you just think, okay, we got this, And there's a natural feeling of just, okay, let's just ride this one out into the sunset. And yeah, I don't know. But yeah, 3-goal leads. There always seems to be a problem with those. So how do you like that? Well, it's and again, I'm sorry, folks, we don't have any contact down in our scorers table to send us assists, and so all we can do is just tell you about again our the goal scorers that we think hit. We got a couple more messages. Karen Tucker says, "What a comeback! Keep going, Flyers." Thanks, Karen. Nice to hear from you tonight. And Grace McVicker says, "Jackson Reed, better score." Hey, Jackson, he's got 2 goals tonight. So hopefully we'll get him another one in the third period. But let's go over again the goal scorers that we have. Again, these are unofficial. And I apologize, we don't have assists tonight. But first period, right away, right out of the gate, it was Stegman of UC, Zach Stegman, grad student, and he made it 1-0 just 21 seconds into the game. And then later in the period, Jackson Reed scored to tie it up at 1 apiece. And then later it was Jacob Kempa of the Cats to make it 2-1. And then Zach Stegman, his second of the game, to make it 3-1 after one period of play. And then Stegman gets his third unofficially of the night for a hat trick. And again, congratulations to him, and congratulations, Brad. Nice job by Zach tonight. Zach Stegman, 6'180" out of Mason. And we have him, at least based on the latest stats given to the ACHA. He came into the game with 4 goals, so he jumps all the way to 7. And it was 4-1, and it was gloom and doom in Flyer land. And all of a sudden, bam, Owen Meichenbaum down here. Owen tipped in a rebound down here, right down in front of us. And for Owen, our freshman defenseman, 4th of the season for Owen. And that made it 4-2. And then the Flyers got on a power play on the very first penalty of the game. Was an interference minor on Caden Ancona of UC when he was wrestling around away from the puck with Brett Jones down here in the left wing circle down here, and that got called for interference, and Jackson Reed is able to zip one in for a 4-3 game. And then Big Teddy Stuber down here, right down beneath us, a tap in on a centering pass slipped over to him, and he's just able to tap it in. And all of a sudden, zim, zam, zoom, we're all tied up at 4 apiece. Unbelievable. Louise Sclafani says, went to the UD basketball game tonight. Oh, Louise. Oh, Louise. Let me read the rest of your message. Hold on. Louise says, went to the UD basketball game tonight. Hubby wearing Chapel Blue hockey jersey, and basketball fans recalled seeing Holmes in the Facebook post wearing the hockey jersey. Yeah, that was great. That was fantastic. Louise, you had to love it. It was a nail biter. I got to see most of it on my phone on ESPN Plus. But yeah, that was a nail biter. St. Bonaventure, tough team. They had a couple of big guys. They had a big, talking about Deron Holmes, the Flyer leading player who's going to be an NBA first-round draft pick. But he's not stockily built. He's very athletic and wiry, but he's not a big guy, But the Bonnies, they have a couple of big guys, especially that one dude. Man alive, that guy. I mean, he looked like man, he was King Kong out there. He just looked like he could pick guys up and toss them around if he wanted to. I think he fouled out. They had 2 of their big guys foul out. St. Bonaventure did. But wow, what a game that was. The Flyers hold on to it by a score of 76-71. And that was humongous because with that win tonight, the Flyer basketball team goes to 18-3. They came into the game ranked 21st in the country. So, and they've won their last 2. They go on the road next week, but they probably will move up a couple, 1 or 2 spots or so, depending on what teams above them do. Yeah, Very exciting game, and I'm telling you, Louise, you had to love going to um, UD Arena. You had to love going to UD Arena um, because they pack the place. The whole season is sold out. I mean, you can get a tickets online. I can get a ticket to anything. Um, but as far as buying a block of tickets or something, they're sold out for the whole season at the beginning of the year, and that's happened the last two seasons. But yeah, it's an electric atmosphere. UD Arena for all you folks um, out of town. Um, yeah, if you get a chance to go to a UD basketball game, you want to do it. The UD Arena was voted by CBS Sports. This is not Podunk website saying this. CBS Sports um, did a study a few years ago where they wanted to pick the best um, mid-major environment for a college basketball game, and University of Dayton Arena was numero uno. They uh, they packed the place. You get 13 and a half, 14,000 people there every night, no matter who's playing, and it's electric atmosphere. Very, very nice, wonderful place to go watch a basketball game, and so I hope you enjoyed that, Louise. Let me know. Let me know what you thought about the environment. Um, Louise says fans wanted to buy the hockey jersey off his back. Oh, how about that? And I wouldn't sell it. Flyers hockey soars. That's great. Well, tell me what you thought about going to the basketball game at UD Arena, Louise. The environment. It's really electric, and the fans are great there. And I hope you enjoyed it. So, like I say, my first basketball game at UD Arena was when I was uh, what would I have been? 1976, 10 years old in March of 1976 was my first basketball game at UD Arena. Here's a chance for the Bearcats and a shot and wide of the net. That shot from Matt Bauman of Cincinnati. And ironically enough, that game, my first UD basketball game, was against the Cincinnati Bearcats, I think, if I'm not mistaken. They used to play them every year. Here's a chance. Puck centered, and it's swatted away by Parks. That puck popped up high in front of the net, and he had to knock it down with a couple of guys in front of him. And we're all knotted up at four. Shot, and Parks makes the save. He's able to glove it. So right out of the gate in this third period, the Bearcats trying to get things going. Sully Clark face off against Greta of the Bearcats. Greta wins it, shot right on and save Parks, and Ploy sweeps the puck away, but the referee said that Parks had it long enough for a whistle. Sully Clark against Zach Greta, Gretta. Greta out of Medina, Ohio. Like I say, they got several Medinans on their roster. The Bearcats do. Ploys for Dayton. Pass at center off a stick down the ice into the Bearcat zone. Centering pass intercepted, and here comes Cincinnati. Another rush into the Flyer zone. There's a centering pass, a tip, save, Parks to rob Brad Baxton, who got a tip on a centering pass. There's Mike Mygon for the Flyers trying to break up Baxton. Loose puck, Tommy Rutherford. Here is Rutherford. Gets past Booth of Cincinnati. Carries into the Bearcat zone down the way. Now here is Smith. Left point. Puck shot in front, and it's off a stick and broken up, and the Bearcats carry out. Flyers get it back. All knotted up at 4. Brendan Booth of Cincinnati. Right wing pass, shot wide of the Flyer net, off the stick of Ancona of Cincinnati. Cats hold it in, shot wide, puck ricochets in front, and with Matt Bauman of the Bearcats lurking, Tavian Parks covers the puck up at the side of the net, and he'll hold on to it. Umhafer wins the draw for Dayton. Back to Mygon. Pass for Umhafer off a stick. Seabass tried to slip it to center. One of the Flyers goes down, and now the Bearcats back in their own end to get it. There's a big hit on a Bearcat player, and it's going to result in a Flyer penalty. I think it's Colin Umhafer. He is arguing about it, I think. He is going to go in for roughing. First Flyer penalty of the game, Colin Umhafer. 2 minutes for roughing. Face off in the Flyer zone. Puck dropped from the draw. Cats have it. Here's a centering pass intercepted by Brett Smith, and he clears the zone. Carried in by Bauman. Behind the net. Drops it off for Williams. Williams' pass intended for Zimmerer gets deflected to center. Cats have to circle back. There's a pass flipped in front, and it's over everybody's stick. Puck carried all the way back down the other end, and it's covered up by goalie J.B. Russo. Freshman goalie is limited action, comes in with a record of 0-1-1. We got another whistle. Got a message from Louise. Basketball game was great. The band and cheerleaders were so much fun. Yeah, that's fantastic. Maybe someday alumni can buy an ice arena for the UD Flyers. Well, that would be fantastic. We were talking about that. Here's a shot at the other end, and Parks catches it. Uh, about how Jeff and I were talking before the game tonight, how it'd be nice if Dayton had a rink, because we were talking about how Springfield has one, but Dayton doesn't. Dayton used to be called Hara Arena. It was in North Dayton, but it has been demolished now. It no longer exists. 15 to go in the game. 15 minutes to go in the third period, I should say. Well, who knows? We might have extra time tonight. We're all knotted up at 4. 20 seconds left in the power play for UC. Shot off the side of the Flyer net and cleared away. Here's a long shot and just parried off to the corner by Parks with his big blocker pad. It taps off the netting above the glass, so we'll have a face-off. Just 1 second left in the Bearcat power play. Puck dropped. Dillard of Cincinnati lost it. And gets it back. Dillard chases it back down. Spencer Dillard behind his own net starts out. On right wing, moves it ahead. Shot, save Parks. And Zach Greta trying to jump on the rebound. He has a good-natured word with Flyer goalie Tavian Parks and heads to the bench. From the face-off in the Flyer zone, Declan Ployce lost his edge and goes down. Puck centered, intended for Brendan Booth, but he couldn't get a stick on it right in front of the Dayton net. Puck got right through his skates. Ployce of Dayton pinned to the boards by Erickson of Cincinnati. Loose puck, and Russo down. He lunges across the crease at the other end and covers up the puck. $13:15 to go in the third. From the draw, down at the other end of the rink. There's a shot, and it's gloved by Russo, and he'll hold on to it. What do we have for shots?
25 Flyers.
So unofficially 31-25 Bearcats have the edge in shots. We've had a hat trick in this game. Cincinnati's Stegman. Here's a chance the other way, and a nice play by Mark Pichetti to break it up. There's a shot, and glancing off the pad of Parks, another shot on, and Parks the save. So a couple of saves by Parks. Spencer, or no, correction, it's not number 9, it's 29. That's Johnny Usenik. Or Brett Jones, I beg your pardon. Brett Jones takes the draw for Dayton. Back for Mygon. Clears the puck. Cats carry back in the Flyer zone. Ancona tries to center it. It's off the side of the net. Cats hold it in. Side of the net. Shot! Save! Parks with a blocker pad. He robs Dylan Marks. Greta rims it around to the right wing side of the Flyer zone. Chance for Greta, drops it off, but right to the Flyers. Jackson Reed, who chips it to center. Resetting for the Cats is Nate. I'm sorry. Rejecki. I've had trouble with that name all night. Brett Smith, pass for Reed. It's deflected. Reed is able to clear it back to the Cat blue line. $11:15 to go in the third period. Puck now in the corner of the Flyer zone. Shot centered to the side of the Flyer net. Trying to clear it out was Constable, but the Cats hold it in. Now Sieve after it, fighting for it with Bauman of Cincinnati. Bauman drops it back to the corner, intended for Booth. He's tied up. Several players tie up behind the Flyer net. Booth trying to make a play for Cincinnati. Rims it into the corner. Brett Smith of the Flyers off the dasher to center. Picked up for the Cats by Booth. Back into the Flyer zone, a chance, and Parks has it as the goal is crashed into by Cincinnati's Jack Lameline. And so no goal as the puck went in the net, but after Lameline had crashed into Parks and knocked the net loose. Now move the face off to the Flyer side of center. From the face off. Flyers Declan Ployce will chop it behind the Cat net at the other end of the rink. Rutherford after it. But the Cats come away with the puck. Here they come. Another rush toward the Flyer net. Puck shot in behind the cage. Ployce for Dayton tries to clear. Up ahead to Aiden Ward to center. He'll dump it in the Cat zone. Into the corner. Flyers pinch in. Ward and a couple other Flyers after it. And it comes in front, and Russo will cover it up. $9:25 to play in the third. Zach Stegman, a hat trick for the Flyers. Jackson Reed, or rather for the Bearcats. And Jackson Reed, 2 goals tonight for the Flyers. And the other Cincinnati goal was scored by Jake Kempa. And the other Flyer goal scored by Ted Stuber and Owen Meichenbaum. And those are unofficial. Here's a chance and a nice sweep check away by Parks as Bauman tried to move in for the Bearcats. Puck cleared. It's Brad Baxton back to get it for the Bearcats. They're in their all black uniforms tonight. Here's a shot and a blocker pad save by Parks on Brendan Booth of Cincinnati. Puck shot all the way back down to the other end of the rink. Now it comes to the flyer line. Rutherford over for Brett Smith. He'll dump it in. The Bearcat zone at the other end. Eight minutes to play in regulation. Shot wide of the Cat net. Off the stick of Tommy Sieve. Cats clear it. Sieve back to get it. Sieve will pick it up before the puck is iced. Sieve fans on a clearing shot, now chips it to center. Cats recover there at their own blue line. Booth of Cincinnati lost it. It's cleared back behind the Cincinnati net. Here come the Bearcats on another rush into the Flyer zone. Shot, save, and in and out of the glove twice for Parks. Another shot. And a save by Parks. What a save by Tavian Parks on a shot that was redirected off one of the Flyer skates. He kicks it out. Game-saving stop by Tavian Parks. Wow. Under 7 to go in the game now. We're all knotted up at 4. 2 shots popped in and out of the trapping mitt of Parks. Came out in front. And a screenshot that hit off of one of the Flyer skates. Looked like it was going to hit into the Flyer net, but Parks kicks it out with his big left leg pad. And now we've got a whistle. Got a message from David Drew. How do you miss that? My little sister would have tucked that. Okay. Okay, David. All right. Nice to hear from you tonight, David. 6:10 to go in the third. Puck in behind the Flyer net. After it for the Cats is Stegman. Coming away with for the Flyers was Ployce. He slides it into the Bearcat zone down the way. Here another rush for the Cats. Shot. No, it's actually carried behind the net by Zimmerer. And Zimmerer looked like he was going to pull the trigger, but he held on to it and carried behind the net. Now loses it, and it's cleared. Cats dump it in again, but offside on this occasion, and we'll have a face-off at center ice. 5:21 to play in the third. And we have both teams change with the stoppage. I thought there was a timeout for a moment, but apparently not. So we'll have a face-off left wing circle of the Flyer zone. DeLeo wins it for the Flyers. It's banged around that left wing side, but held in at the point by the Cats. They play pass with it. Shot and a tip wide. Nice tip by Stegman. Looking for his 4th goal, and he tipped it wide. Nice setup on that shot. And that shot was intended probably for a tip in front, and Stegman got a tip on it, but off his stick blade wide of the Flyer net. 4:40 to play in the third. Another rush for the Cats. Drop pass kicked out by Parks. And Kona trying to put the puck on net, and again having to be very alert was Tavian Parks as he kicked that puck out with his right skate. Puck still live. 4:10 to go in the third. Another rush by the Cats. It's dumped off the end boards, off to this left wing side. Picked up for Greta. Drops it back to the point. Now in the corner, Greta. Left wing boards. Now a one-timer and a catch made by Parks. And that time it was Zimmer who got the one-timer, but I think he might have broke his stick. He didn't get good wood on that shot at all. It just kind of fluttered in the air, and Parks was able to catch it. .346 to go. Right wing circle face off in the Flyer zone. Flyers need to get it out. Steve clears it, but we're going to just redo that face off again. Aren't we? No icing? Did they wave icing off on that? Apparently so. Well, here come the Cats again. A centering pass, and it gets through the slot area in front of the Flyer net untouched and cleared away. Another rush into the Dayton zone by the Bearcats. Trying to dig it out is Brendan Booth. Booth and Tommy Sieve comes away with it for the Flyers. Sieve carries into center ice, and then he'll flip it off the end boards. It ricochets all the way back down the other way, and it'll be an icing violation against Cincinnati. So a big face-off in the Bearcat zone this time. It seems like we've had just one face-off after another down here. Finally, one down in the Cat zone. 2:44 in regulation to go. I'm assuming if this game ends in regulation and a tie, that we'll have an overtime. Several players digging for it in the right wing corner of the Bearcat zone down the way. Puck centered in front, and there was some jostling around in front of the Bearcat net. Now we've got a whistle, and what do we have here, folks? Some players are banging on the walls. Let's see, what do we have? Uh-oh, do we have a penalty here? Interference against Cincinnati. And it is Nate Rajecki, R-A-J-E-C, or I beg your pardon. I've had trouble pronouncing that name all night. Now I can't spell it. R-A-J-E-C-K-I, Rajecki. 5'9", 175 out of Strongsville, Ohio, which is up near Cleveland. And so timeout called, I assume, by the Flyers to try to set something up. Let's see. Do we have any more messages? Oh, okay, everybody. 2:15 to go, so almost for the entire balance of the period. Less 15 seconds. The Flyers will have a power play. Trying to pull this game out, everybody. It's a big one. We've heard from some of you tonight saying how they needed. Who did we hear from earlier? It was who explained what we needed. A win tonight and a win Sunday. It was Cassidy Dyer who passed that along to us. So Flyers have it in their hands right now. Tie game, and they have a one-man advantage with 2:13 to go. Now here come the Cats into the Flyer zone, short-handed, and racing after the puck for Dayton is Brett Smith. Smith, rink-wide pass. Flyers have to get back on side. It's dumped in. 1:40 to go in the game, and they score! Gracious! I can't believe it. Oh, let's see who got it. Flyer goal, power play. It is Tommy Rutherford. How about that? Flyer leading scorer, Tom Rutherford, gives the Flyers a 5-4 lead. Their second power play goal of the game. And for Tom, his 13th goal of the season, that leads the Flyer team. Tommy, 6'2", 220 sophomore, just a sophomore, out of Chicago, Illinois area, business major, likes to go fishing when he's not playing hockey. Well, that's a humongous goal for the Flyers. They lead it now 5-4, their first lead of the game. Now they need to hang on for another minute and a half. Let's keep an eye on the Bearcat net to see if they vacate it. Now they do. So the Cats vacate the net for an extra attacker. Declan Ployce trying to clear. It's held in by the Cats at the blue line. Now Greta checked into the boards in the Flyer zone. Puck rimmed around to this opposite corner. Taking a whack at it, Rutherford, but the Cats hold it in. There's a shot. Save. Parks. Another save. Parks. Rebound to the right wing corner. 45 seconds. There's a shot the other way, and it's wide of the empty net and icing against the Flyers. Got a message from Kelly Ward. Way to go, Tommy. Robin Rutherford says, way to go, Tommy boy. And another face-off now. Timeout, Cincinnati, as Coach Taylor Lee spelled L-E-Y, as Coach Taylor Lee and his staff will want to talk this over. Sean Tucker, hey Sean, how's it going? Says, nice job, truth. And Tommy Shipman says, truth. So that must be Tommy Rutherford's nickname, Truth. Tom the Truth Rutherford. So, wow, what a game. Yikes. Looked like the Cats had this game in hand. I'm mumbling on about how the Flyers are playing up or down to the record of their competition, and bam, all of a sudden they flip the switch, and from 4-1 now, 4 unanswered goals by the Flyers. How do you like that? But they still have 45 seconds to go, and it's 6-on-5. Man advantage for the Bearcats, however, with the empty net. Flyers will change lines now before we drop the puck. Teddy Stuber will take the face-off against Maximilian Williams of Cincinnati. Williams wins the face-off, but the puck kicks out of the Flyer zone. Back to get it for the Cats is Zach Greta. Half a minute to play. Bearcats trying another rush. Flyers trying to break it up. The Cats cleared into the Flyer zone in the corner. Meichenbaum clears not out. It's held in behind the Flyer net. Puck loose. Nice play by Sully Clark to sweep it to the corner. Puck centered. Cats have a shot. And at the side of the net, a chance for Marks, and that is it. Oh my gosh, a chance for Dylan Marks at the side of the Flyer net, but he was bumped off the puck before he could try to stuff it in. Nice defense, and the Flyers mob Tavian Parks as the Flyers, a humongous comeback tonight after trailing 4-1, 4 unanswered goals, and they are able to pull this game out tonight in Springfield by a final score of 5-4 as they form the handshake lines. Wow. What a game. What were your final unofficial shots, Jeff? 42-28 Cincinnati unofficially tonight. Wow. We're going to have a 3 stars and a hard hat. We'll give out here, folks. Wow. What a game. Let's see. Let's catch up on our messages. We've got a few. Jake Shook says, Flyers, hold on. They did. Thanks, Jake. Nice to hear from you. Craig Rutherford says, Kent. And I reply back, Craig. I think Craig didn't finish his message. Did he send something else? No, Robin did. Robin says, here we go to the playoffs. Way to go, Flyers. So thanks, Robin Rutherford and Craig Rutherford. Nice to hear from you guys tonight. Joe Costel Jr. says, hey, Kent. Great job with the broadcast as always. Thank you, Joe. Nice to hear from you tonight. And Flyers to the Yoffs. The Yers to the Yoffs, says Joe. Thanks, Joe. Nice to hear from you again tonight. Cherie Champagne, our future production assistant. Great job, Flyers. Congrats on the win. Thank you, Cherie. And I hope the Beavers won tonight. Jeff, you're going to have to find out for us. Oh, it's hung up. Ooh.
Couple minutes left.
Oh, good. Okay, it looks like the Beavers were going to win tonight too. The high school team that we cover. Cherie, thanks. Wonderful to hear from you. We'll see you tomorrow night for the Beaver game. Wow. So let's recap again. We don't have the assists, unfortunately. Oh, woohoo! Way to go. Boy, that's a huge win for the Beaver Creek team. That should get them back in first place in the Swashel. But at any rate, okay, folks. So we don't have assists, but unofficial goals. First period, 21 seconds in, it was Zach Stegman out of Mason, Ohio, northern suburb of Cincinnati, home of one of the finest tennis tournaments in the country, professional tennis tournaments in the country, and also home of one of the finest amusement parks in the country, Kings Island. And also Mason, Ohio, home of one-time home of George Clooney, famous actor. But at any rate, Zach Stegman out of Mason, his fifth goal of the season, just 21 seconds in, made it 1-0 Bearcats. And then later in the first period, Jackson Reed of the Flyers. Jackson, 6'5", 185 freshman out of Pennsylvania. He scored. They're zapping us. his sixth goal of the season, 1-1. And then it was Jake Kempa, his 12th of the season for the Bearcats, 2-1 Cats. Zach Stedman, his second of the game, sixth of the season, made it 3-1 Bearcats after one. And then it was Mr. Stegman again. Zach Stedman, a hat trick tonight, unofficially again. His seventh of the season, third of the night. It was 4-1 Bearcats. But then the comeback underway. It was for the Flyers, Owen Meichenbaum, a tip in right in front of the net. And for Owen Meichenbaum, it was his fourth goal of the season. Owen, the freshman defenseman out of Buffalo, and it was 4-2. Jackson Reed, his second goal of the game, a power play goal this time, and for Jackson, then it was his seventh of the season, and it was 4-3. And then Ted Stuber, Teddy, the big 6'5", 200-pound grad law student out of Rocky River, Ohio, for Teddy, his sixth goal of the season. And that tied it up before the end of the second period, 4-4. And we came all the way down, no scoring in the third period until there was about a minute and a half to go. There was a power play. One of Jackson Reed's goals was a power play. And then another power play goal by the Flyers as, let's see, who was it that went in? I didn't write it down. Rejecki. Rejecki for roughing was the penalty. So the penalty on Rejecki for roughing with just a couple minutes left in the game, and half minute into the power play, Tommy Rutherford is able to bang one in, and that was the winning goal. The Bearcats pulled the goalie after that. They had a chance. They had one big chance right in the closing second. Puck came to the side of the Flyer net, but some good defense to knock a Bearcat or two out of harm's way at the side of the net, and the Flyers were able to hang on to it. Let's pick a 3 stars for tonight's game. Our number 3 star of the game is from the Dayton Flyers. It's goalkeeper Tavian Parks. Tavian is able to make several really big stops tonight in holding on to the game. Our number 2 star of the game is from the Dayton Flyers. It's Jackson Reed with his 2 goals of the game on the game tonight. And our number 1 star of the game is from the Cincinnati Bearcats, and it is Zach Stegman. Zach Stegman with a hat trick tonight. He is our number 1 star of the game. And let's pick a hard hat. Let's see, who can we do for a hard hat? Who stood out tonight? Trying to look on both rosters who may have stood out. Let's see. I'm going to give let's give the hard hat tonight to Declan Ployce. So he's our hard hat tonight. So again, the 3 stars, number 3, Tavian Parks from Dayton, the number 2 star on the game, Jackson Reed of Dayton, and the number 1 star of the game is Zach Stegman of Cincinnati. The hard hat tonight, Declan Ployce. And special mention to the game-winning goal scorer tonight, Tom Rutherford, as he gets the game winner. And the Flyers skate off with a 5-4 win. Final messages. Let's see what we got. Sean Constable. Hey, Sean says, congrats, boys. Thanks, Sean. Nice to hear from you. Robin Rutherford says, Jesse Ployce says, amen. Thanks, Robin, and thanks to Jesse. And our pal Louise says the Tri-State Collegiate Hockey League is the toughest D2 league in the nation. Well, thank you, Louise. Probably so. I tell you, think of all the good teams in this league. I mean, we obviously think of Michigan, Ohio State, Ohio University, Indiana. Miami University is always a tremendous hockey program. Both their NCAA and their ACHA teams are always good, and now you add UC this season. It's their first year back. They were in the Tri-State League some years ago, I think, but they're back for the first time this year. And you think of Bowling Green, another great hockey program, and now the Flyers, what they're beginning to build now under Coach Tony Morris and his staff. Yeah, we had a couple of lean years the last couple of years, but the building is continuing, and we're seeing it, and we're seeing the fruits of those labors are blossoming, and we believe they will blossom more and more as we go over the next year or two. We got a lot of talented freshmen and sophomores on this team, and Flyer hockey should be in pretty good shape. When you look back with the win tonight, the Flyers go to 10-8-2, but started, I think, 1-4 or 2-5, something like that. I think the Flyers, ever since right before the holiday break, I think from like November on, or right around before the holidays, something like 8-1-2 or something like that, record-wise. It's really been a sensational turnaround here in the second half of the season. Let's mention Kelly Ward's message. Hey, Kelly. Kent, hope to see you at the playoffs. I hope, Kelly, like I said earlier, it depends on where and when. We'll see. Obviously, Jeff and I have different responsibilities during the weekdays, so it depends on what happens, where if the Flyers would go in a playoff situation, where they go and when. So hopefully we can be with you. So we'll see. But thanks for that message, Kelly, and I hope very much that we can at least bring a playoff game to you. But we'll let you know. So, well, we'll put a capper on this game tonight, and appreciate everybody joining us in the chats. It was nice to hear from Mr. Stegman too, our UC rooter. Congratulations to his, I assume his son Zach, on his hat trick tonight. And nice to hear from you, and nice to hear from all of our Flyer fans tonight, as the Flyers come from behind, down 4-1. Early in the second period, and are able to come all the way back off the mat, and 4 unanswered goals. The capper with just a minute and a half to go in the third period, and they pull it out. With the loss, the Bearcats dropped to 6-17-4 With a win, as I mentioned, the Flyers go to 10, 8, and 2. And with the win tonight, Tavian Parks, the Flyer starting goalie, goes to 6, 6, and 2. And with the loss tonight, JB Russo drops to 0, 2, and 1. Although both goalies played very well tonight, I think they were a lot of big chances for both teams. Both goalies played pretty well tonight. So that'll do it, folks. Thanks for everybody's chat messages, and thanks for viewing tonight on this late night. I hope everybody has a good weekend, and go Flyers tomorrow down in Cincinnati and on Sunday in Athens. And hopefully we'll be with you again. But my gosh, I can't sign off without saying this might be it for the season for us, Jeff. So Jeff and I both want to say thank you, everybody, for in case this is our last game with you guys on YouTube this season. It's been fantastic once again. Thanks to everybody for all the nice the cards and the gift bags and gifts last week at Senior Week, and the coming up to visit with us, and the selfie pictures and everything else. It was just wonderful. And we hope that we'll be with you again. But if not, it's been a great season, and we look forward to Flyer hockey next year in case we do not see you again this season. So go Flyers. And if we don't see you again this year, have a great off season. And I speak for our producer engineer, Jeff Duford. This is Kent Jacobs again reminding you the final score tonight. Dayton Flyers 5 and the Cincinnati Bearcats 4. Until next time, good evening from the NTPRD Chiller in Springfield. Good night, everybody.